Let's talk about They Will Kill You, the new Zazie Beetz movie directed by Kirill Sokolov that premiered at South by Southwest a couple of days ago. I was there at the premiere, and I will tell you, it was at the Paramount. You've heard me talk about the Paramount before. People get loud there. They think it's funny. They think it's cute. It is at first, and then you're just like, yeah, I want to listen to the movie a little bit. Sometimes some dialogue is lost because of that. But other than that, They Will Kill You, my thoughts and opinions on it before it premiered was, I have no clue what to think about this movie. I thought it was going to be one of those movies where it just was going to feel like everything I've seen before already, and it does have that vibe, but then it does some pretty cool stuff as well and has a killer soundtrack, and then it becomes one of those movies where I'm just like, this is a future midnighter classic for sure. This movie stars Zazie Beetz. You also have Myha'La, you have Felton, Patricia, Arquette, and I was very excited to get into this movie and see what exactly was going to happen in it, what it was about. The trailers that have been already presented to you kind of don't really give you the full scope of it. A little bit there, but not really. I promise you, this is a ride when you get into it. I won't get into the spoilers of it. That will be in the video later on, so stay tuned for that. But what I will say is that it's full of enough twists and turns and some incredible sequences to have you engaged. And I've seen people already try to say that this is like a discount to Ready or Not 2, and I will tell you, I think that this is the better of those two in my opinion. I think They Will Kill You does what Ready or Not 2 wanted to do in a better way in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Let's put a counter how many times I said my opinion, because it's my opinion. But let's get away from that, because I'm going to get too caught up in saying that. They Will Kill You has some incredible imagery throughout. Barbara and Andy Muschietti are the producers here, and you can kind of feel their imprint throughout some of the things here. They have these very cartoonish pop vibes to their films, and it kind of goes here as well hand in hand. But also, you get some incredible practical effects throughout, which I thought were incredible. There is a sequence as well that I'm not even going to tell you what it is because I was about to, and I feel like it's just one of those moments when you watch the film and you see it happen and you're just like, what the hell are they doing? Like, these are some very genius and imaginative performances being put here and sequences, and I was just like in awe about it. I do think that the story is very thin. There isn't much there going on, but at the same time, I don't even think they needed to do much story like that, because I think this is a film where it's about the action. It's about the sequences, the imagination, the whole artistry behind it as well, where it's going to shine. And that's totally fine. I've said it before, plot can kind of take a back seat as long as you're presenting to me something on the screen that I just think is superb and imaginative. And Zazie Beetz here plays a very incredible action star as well. There is a lot of, I would say, aura that she is giving off that really tells me that Zazie Beetz is definitely meant to make more action films. I'd love to see her more stuff. I mean, she's incredible in Deadpool and all that, but I think here she really comes into her forte, and I mean, it is just cool sequences as well. And that might be the only thing that I think people aren't going to really vibe with. If you're looking for a film that's going to give you a lot more depth and all of that, it's not going to be here. It does hit those baselines of emotion a lot better than what Ready or Not 2 was trying to do, I think, and the whole like family dynamic a lot stronger as well. But I think that when it comes to the sequences and all of that, it is definitely what the movie's strong point is, because you're here to see some amazing kill sequences, some amazing action from Zazie Beetz with a sword and all of that. I get a lot of these vibes, of course, like people have said also before, that the Kill Bill vibes, and that it's definitely there, and it's like wearing it on its sleeve. And I don't think it's trying to shy away that it is, because there's a moment here where it's just like, this is really, really inspired by Kill Bill for sure. And I don't think that's a bad thing per se, as long as they are upfront about it, and that's fine. I don't think this movie is either going to be one of those movies where you're just like, this is the movie of the year, but I think you're going to say this is one of the most fun movies of the year for sure. Even if this is your movie of the year, that's totally fine as well. But I think that it's going to be a movie that I don't really think about after that much, because there really wasn't a scene in particular or moment here where I was just like, yeah, that was it. But it's still a great movie, right? I don't know how to explain downplay myself there. Like, I'm not trying to knock this movie down or anything, because it's still one of my favorites I saw at South by Southwest. Top 5 for sure. And I think that we definitely are very much so in the presence of a director that's growing his style more with Kirill, and I would love to see what comes next from this. I think that this is truly Zazie's movie, though. I don't think any of the other actors really get any moments or time to shine as much as she does. So that might be the only detrimental part about it, because I think if there was a bit more nuance to some of these other characters and a bit more of them fleshed out, we would have had a really, really great movie on our hands here. It still is good, but it's just like it was on that brink of achieving something else. I do feel, however, that there is a moment in this film where it wants to kind of say, like, hey, if we do good enough and if y'all liked it so much, maybe we could do something else. And I definitely wouldn't be surprised if it pulls a Ready or Not and gives us a sequel to something that feels like a complete story, because this movie that kind of ends on a complete story in my opinion. But I could definitely also see their opportunity that they want to have to do something more and sort of expand on the lore, because just like Ready or Not, it does have a lore with like rich families and all of these other things. I'm not going to get too much into it because, like I said, it's a movie you just want to get into. I think the final third act of this film and the first act of this film are super solid, super strong. The middle part that attaches both of these is definitely the weakest. It starts to slow down. It starts to tumble. There are some moments here and there that are highlights that kind of are working like glue. And it's like if somebody presented you this as a project, that middle part would just be covered in glue because they're trying to keep it together. But once you get to that third act, this is where the movie really achieves what I would say the most fun I've had at South by Southwest, because the crowd and everything and just all of the things that are happening on the screen were just incredible. This was the last movie I watched that day, and also I think this was almost my second to last film. The last one I watched was Buddy, and then I watched this the night previously, and I had a great time with it. I did. But ultimately, it's just not that film where I think I would want to revisit it again. It's just like a one and done for me. Amazing, amazing VFX artists for sure here. Practical effects, all of that. Give it up to them for sure. Whoever compiled the soundtrack as well, give them an A+, because this definitely added to the film. Casting as well was great, especially with Zazie in it. I think that she is an incredible action star, and I'm excited to see what else she does in the future. Definitely would love to see her in other things like show off the range, but still, I would never be mad to see her in more action, because I think she definitely is able to really give off that action star vibe, right? And the director as well did an incredible job at really giving us some very intriguing shots and some that I was not expecting, and just great. I'll talk more about that in the spoilers, because I want to start getting into like the scenes and all that, but that's just too much spoilers. I don't want to spoil it for you. I think it's worth checking out. I think if you're a huge action star, would definitely check it out as soon as you can. I would say if you're on the fence about the movie, you can wait for the matinee and not pay as much for it, because I think that it's a film that's kind of feeling one-dimensional of sorts. I think the emotional beats are stronger than Ready or Not, but they're not as strong there where I think that it's an incredible story and plot, right? I do think that it's more about the visuals, it's about the actions and all of that. I recommend seeing this on a big screen though, so even if you pay full price or matinee, it's still great. I would definitely think that this is going to be one of those that will turn into a sequel or a series later down the road. We'll see. But anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions on They Will Kill You, if you liked it or not, or if you're excited about it, if you haven't watched it yet. Comment below. I'd love to know. Check out my review on Ready or Not 2. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell. 50,000 subscribers is the goal. Ready or Not 2 spoilers already up, and we will also have spoilers for They Will Kill You next week when it releases, so stay tuned. But as always, that's going to do it for me. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.